Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I would love to have you subscribe, like, comment, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video is going to be part 4 of my Would I or Wouldn't I series that I started here on my channel a couple of months ago. I got this idea after watching Angelica Liramar do this on her channel. She is one of my absolute favorite creators. And of course, I will have her channel linked in my description box. And what I do is I just come in here into my beauty room. I grab 10 palettes at random, either out of my drawer or off my shelf. I make a little pile, and then I sit down and talk to you guys about whether or not I would repurchase these and why. Okay, so let's get started. Number 1, this is the e.l.f. bite-sized little quad here in hot jalapeno. I have 4 of these in my collection and I just love this one. This is my absolute favorite out of the 4 that I own. I love green eyeshadows and grungy greens are my absolute favorite. Now these are $3 and for a $3 quad, these work very well. I will say, however, that the mattes are not the greatest out of all the mattes that I have in my collection. They're kind of dusty. You can't really over blend them. I mean, you know, some shadows you can just blend for days and it looks beautiful. If you do that with these, they're gonna just fly off your eyelids. So you kind of have to like almost like pack the shadow on and then just barely blend. The shimmers are really nice. I would say that out of these little bite-sized quads, the shimmers are where it's at. I love these 2 shimmers. This gold is so beautiful and this kind of grungy green. I love it. I think for $3, these are really nice, so I definitely would repurchase this. The next one is the Maven Cosmetics Cosmic Drip Palette, and I got this out of a BoxyCharm. 4 really pretty kind of duochrome shimmers in here. Now, I think I've used this, twice? I did film a video with this after I first got it a long time ago, probably over a year ago. And I just don't ever reach for these. When I first got this, I just didn't really have a lot of fun shimmers in my collection. So I was really happy that I got this because I thought, oh, cool. Yeah, I have some fun shimmers. And these are very pretty, but they're very soft. They're just not as dynamic as I was hoping they might be. So while I didn't necessarily purchase this because I got it out of a BoxyCharm, although I did pay for the BoxyCharm, this is where it always confuses me. I don't know that I would pick this palette up again. It is very pretty, very soft, kind of duochrome shimmers, but with all the other things I have in my collection now, I just don't think I would pick this up again. Then we have the Essence Ice Ice Baby little palette here. I got this off the Essence website for, I think, what, $4 or $5? And I picked this up because I filmed a video where I revealed that I have a grandson now. And I was dropping some hints about having a baby in my life. I thought this would match that theme pretty well. And this is a decent little palette. I don't think it's extraordinary necessarily in my collection. I do have some blue palettes that I do like better. But I do like the fact that this is kind of a more dusky blue color, you know, kind of muted blue, I would say. The shimmers in here, though, are really nice. This one especially. This one kind of shifts from kind of blue to silver. This one's really nice, too, and I never have used that one. I've only used this palette the one time when I filmed that video. The mattes were fine. They weren't great. They were decent. They weren't patchy, and they did blend out well. But I will say that the difference in tone between this shade here and this one here just really wasn't that noticeable. I mean, in the pan, this looks quite a bit darker, but on the lid, I just felt like they kind of looked the same, maybe. So because it's only $4 or $5 and because it's, you know, smaller, more compact, I think this would be really fun to travel with. And I do like the shimmers in here. I think I would repurchase this palette. Then we have the Margarita Azul little palette here from Rude Cosmetics. And this is a brand that I have a couple other palettes from. I don't really hear a lot of people talking about Rude Cosmetics on YouTube. The other palettes that I have from this brand, I really enjoy. I did declutter a couple in my last palette collection and declutter video. My daughter is loving those palettes. And this is a really cute little palette here, all shimmers. But the thing is they're very soft and there's just not a lot to them. You know, you have to layer them and layer them and layer them to get them to really show up on your lid. So while this is cute, it's cute. I love the packaging, little margarita on the front here. I just don't know that I would purchase this. This one actually right here is really nice for like an inner corner shade, but the rest of these, I don't know. I just wasn't real thrilled about it. So I do not think I would pick this one up again. Then we have the Blue Moon palette from Colourpop. And you know, when I first picked this up, I was terrified of blue shadows. I know that's kind of a running joke here on my channel. And I wasn't really sure that I would ever get a lot of use out of this, but I'd seen so many people create beautiful looks with this palette. A lot of my friends love this little blue palette here. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna pick it up. And I've used it a couple of times and it's absolutely gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Now this shade right here, this broke out. It fell into my lap. When I first filmed with this palette, I pulled this out of my box of shame because I hadn't used it yet. And this shade just broke in half and fell in my lap. And it stained my shirt. I never was able to get that stain out of my shirt. The shimmers in here are beautiful. I love this white shimmer right here because it's got that really subtle blue cast to it. It's so pretty. The mattes are really nice. I think this is a great quality Colourpop palette here. Beautiful blue monochromatic. I love the packaging. So yes, I would definitely repurchase this. And I can't believe I'm saying that because normally blue shadows make me want to run from the room screaming. Then we have the Ruby palette from BH Cosmetics, and I was born in July. This is my birthstone. So of course I had to pick up this palette, and I did film a video with this a couple months after I got it. I'm notorious for doing that, you guys, I know. And this shade here is a pressed glitter. And it did kind of make a mess, it really did. But it did adhere well to the lid, and it looked really pretty. And I do like this color story, but I do not know that I think that it screams ruby. This shade right here, I wish it had been like a deeper red, maybe like a really dark, deep brick red, or even a black matte. This shade here, it's very pretty. I don't know why they have these big shades in these palettes, but they didn't ask me. I don't work for BH Cosmetics. But it's more pink on the lid. So's this one, very, very pink. And this one is kind of like a brownish red. I don't know. I mean, when you guys look at this, does it scream ruby to you? Let me know in the comment section what you think. I do think, however, that I would repurchase this again just because it's a ruby palette, but I just wasn't super thrilled with the color story. The performance was fine, but the color story does not say ruby to me. Then we have the Rain palette from Sample Beauty. Now, Sample Beauty is a UK indie brand that I am madly in love with. Now, I have the Jewel Tone palette that I just love. There's some beautiful kind of smushy shimmers in that palette. Oh, they're amazing. And then Pia sent me the Blooming Lovely palette, gorgeous. And then Steph sent me a couple other ones. I can't remember what they're called, but they're this size and they're gorgeous. One's a rainbow palette and one is like, purple, green, and blue. Now, when I first saw this on the Beauty Bay website, that's where I picked this up from off the Beauty Bay website, I thought this was more red toned. I know that's just kind of what the picture looked like kind of like the color of my shirt. And this is more neutral, of course, kind of brownish, maybe terracottas. But I am telling you, this palette is amazing. The mattes are so beautiful. They're very pigmented and they blend out beautifully. And the shimmers are so wonderful. I am so glad that I picked this up. Those of you that aren't neutral lovers, you may not really like this color story, but if you are a neutral lover, I highly recommend picking up this palette. I would definitely repurchase this one. Now we have the Sheglam Lovestoned palette. And I got this off their website, this and another palette. And I have filmed with this palette before. The other palette I actually really like, and I will pull that into a would I or wouldn't I episode at some point. But I went onto their website, I saw this, I thought the color story was gorgeous, you know, greens, purples, pinks. I thought, yes, that looks so beautiful. I got this, I sat down to film with it, and I was absolutely, totally disappointed. The mattes are just duds. They just aren't really pigmented. You can't really even see them on your lid. I mean, you have to just pack and pack and pack before you can see them. The shimmers, they're pretty. I will say the shimmers are pretty, but they're just really soft, just kind of, not that exciting. I was so bummed. I really just think this is a gorgeous palette. Every time I open this up and I look at the color story, I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. But it just did not do one positive thing for me, not one. So no, I would not repurchase this palette. Then we have the Twilight palette from CColor. Now CColor dupes more expensive palettes for a more affordable price, and that totally gets me every time because you guys know I'm a total cheapskate. And this is duping the Natasha Denona Booba, something like that palette. Me, Miss Bougie over here, not even close. I really do like this. I think it's a really pretty color story. I just haven't used this a lot. I think I've used it, twice, maybe 3 times. So I'd love to get this out and use it again. I really did like the performance of it. And like I said, I really do like the color story. I think it's a really pretty kind of, I don't know, muted. We've got some mauves, purples, kind of like a mossy green, but you know, kind of toned down, muted colors. So yes, I need to put this on my desk and use this again soon. I do feel like I would, yes, repurchase this palette. I would definitely repurchase this over the more expensive palette for sure. Last but not least, we have the Wet n Wild Color Icon 32 pan eyeshadow palette. And I picked this up at my local drugstore. They were having a clearance sale. This was what, $2.99, $3.99, something like that. And so I grabbed it because I'm a bargain hunter and I'm super cheap. And I do have shades from this palette on my eyelids today, and they work really well. The mattes work really well. The shimmers are beautiful. you know, I can say that I do have these shades in other palettes in my collection. Yes, I do. I don't know that I necessarily have them in this exact color combination, but I'm really happy that I picked this up. It was a great deal, works really well. Highly recommend picking this up if you guys can find it anywhere. I have no idea if this is still available. I've had this for a couple of years, haven't used it for at least a year, if not longer, and my look came together really easily today. So yes, I would definitely repurchase this. So there you have it. That was part 4 of my Would I or Wouldn't I series here on my channel. And I'm so happy that I got this idea from Angelica Liramar. And of course, like I said at the very beginning, I will have her channel linked in my description box. It's just really fun to sit down with 10 palettes at random out of my collection and talk to you guys about them. I think there were, what, 3 that I said I wouldn't repurchase in this go round, which I think is pretty decent. Another really cool thing about doing this is that it reminds me that I have a lot of palettes in my collection that I really need to use. So I'm going to make another little stack here and start working through them again. I would love to know if you guys have these palettes, what you think of them, if you would repurchase or you would not repurchase. Let me know in the comment section. We can have a nice little chat about it, and I'm really looking forward to part 5. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy day or evening to sit down and watch my video. It always means the world to me. If you have subscribed or you would like to subscribe, do not forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're aware of all of my future uploads. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video, but in the meantime, please take care of yourself, be well, safe, happy, and I hope to see you very soon. Thanks again, you guys. Take care. Bye.
Drop it.